Hey, this is Kristen Shaw with Airport Improvement, and this is our show and tell series. I'm here today with Metal Pless. Guys, how are you today?
We're great. We're good.
Oh, living the dream.
Living the dream.
Yep.
Awesome. Please introduce ourselves and tell us your titles and what you do for Metal Pless.
So I'm Jason Whitmore, Vice President of Sales,
I'm Paul Vanderzon,
Territory Manager.
Territory Manager.
You still are.
Oh, yeah, okay. Territory Manager for the U.S.
So what I understand about Metal Pless is that you make rock star snowplows. Do I have that right?
Pretty close. Pretty close. I like it. Rockstar. It's the first time I hear that one. I like it. Yes. Metal Pless, that's what we do. Snowplows. We do snowplows, and that's all we do. 100% of our production, our concentration, and mostly our passion is in snowplows.
And here's the funny thing, right? We're going into summer, but this is the time when airports are really thinking about and planning their purchases for snowplows for the winter months, right?
Yes, actually, a lot, yes. And there's also a lot of airports that are looking for the future, right? So we're constantly getting requests pretty much year round. Yes, right now for the next season, of course, but also planning, a lot of budgets being looked at, a lot of renovations being made at airports where they're building new terminals and require more equipment, and they like to get the feedback to know what's the ideal piece of equipment for their needs.
Now tell me, how long has Metal Pless been in business? You've been doing this for quite a while.
We have. So we've been at it for a little over 40 years. We're a family-owned business. And today we are a very big company, over 120 employees. We sell all across the world in different countries, and we're still a family-owned business. We're very proud of that, to have this Metal Pless family. All of our employees, whether it be those working in the factory, the administration, the sales team, everybody's very passionate. We all have the Metal Pless family philosophy, and we just love snow. We love snowplows. We love what we do.
Oh, that's nice, Brother Jason.
Thank you, Brother Paul.
It's all a big family.
It is. After all these years, and the way Metal Pless has grown exponentially is just incredible. Of course, it started off as a small one-man shop, like almost every company, but especially in the past 10 years, we have grown exponentially in the past 10 years. Our presence all across the world has just grown significantly. And it's that know-how of and that passion of snowplows that we have, and being the expertise in snow removal with building only snowplows has really set us apart, where people are appreciating reaching out to us and hearing the feedback and how we can help them and what we have to offer.
Yeah. So one of the things that Metal Pless is good with is listening to clients' needs. I had my own snow business, and I sold that like 9 years ago, and they approached me and asked me if I wanted to work for them, because I come from that side of the field, so I could really bring not only the needs, but explain the pain points that snow contractors, and we understand too, with the airport, snow is not really the nicest word. As soon as people hear snow's on the horizons, I don't want to fly through that airport because it's going to snow. And it's got a severe trickle-down effect. If one airport closes or there's delays, it just, I'm blown away by how much that can affect world travel, let alone just at that one airport.
Right. It's very much a domino effect, isn't it?
It is, yes.
And there was actually a very interesting article that came out by the Quebec Transport Association talking about Montreal Airport, how it never closes due to a snowstorm. And we're going to be proud of that as well, because Montreal Airport runs a lot of Metal Pless blades. But it's not just Montreal Airport. Quebec City as well never closes. So a lot of these, Canada, we're in Canada up here, so we know snow. Every airport in Canada has to deal with snow. So a lot of these airports...
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. There's not a single Canadian airport that's not having to worry about snow. And Quebec City, same like Montreal. There was one year they got close to over 200 inches of snow. And they managed it a lot with our equipment because of the efficiencies. Our equipment, Quebec City, we'll say that our larger plow will replace, does the job of 3 loaders with a pusher box on it. So it makes for less equipment running around, having to look over. You've got one piece being very efficient and hauling a lot of the snow into off the areas.
So what you're saying is that all snowplows are not created alike.
No, no. There's multiple different types of snow plows. You can have your traditional box pusher, which is fine, but at the end of the day, it's a box pusher. No matter how big you go, it's still a box pusher. There's only so much that box pusher can do and or push. You can have a blade that angles. Again, where does the snow go? You're just going back and forth, back and forth. Or you can go with the Metal Pless philosophy, which we believe in hydraulic wings. We have for many, many years. We were one of the first companies in the 80s to commercialize snowplow with hydraulic wings. So that means you have a plow that can hydraulically change its feature, its dimensions to increase your plowing efficiency. And then that being said, well, there's, with time, many companies that did like us also offer that. But how you build your plow, what it can do, the features it has, Metal Pless sets itself apart pretty high.
Yeah, the pusher box, it's a one-trick pony. If you take the wings off the box, you have an angle plow, which again is very limited in what you can do. You can push the snow aside, but that's it. And then with the Metal Pless hydraulic wings, because each wing is independently controlled and can rotate 180 degrees, it now becomes like the Swiss Army knife for plows. It'll do whatever you need it to do in whatever situation you're dealing with. So back dragging, you can fold those wings back and carry a lot of snow. Back dragging, you can push the snow to the side. It does everything and more.
So if you had to compare it to a vehicle, if a regular snowplow is like a delivery truck, the Metal Pless snowplows are more like a Goldwing Mercedes.
I don't know.
I'm not good enough at cars. I'm thinking Tesla maybe. Yeah. but it works really well in the winter. I don't know how to compare it to a car. That's interesting. And I don't want to talk bad of any other products. I'm not going to, and I'm afraid of saying a brand of vehicle. But it's definitely the Swiss Army knife. And as it was stated in a previous interview that I had with Jean-Guy from Quebec Airport, YQB Airport, he himself was managing that division for a long time. And he is exclusively Metal Pless products pretty much all across the board. And that's what he shared with us, is one Metal Pless blade on one loader will replace 3 other loaders. So that's huge. That's really huge, the amount of work a Metal Pless can do.
So, and aren't they the ones that just ordered a much larger plow, one we've never built
It's in the
before?
works. It's in the works, a 60-foot plow. So another thing that Metal Pless sets itself apart, of course, is the size of our equipment. We offer the biggest hydraulic wing blade there is right now, 44 feet wide. We're working on a 60-foot wide blade. So of course we do have the most productive, most efficient. And another mention, we've all been sitting in a plane waiting for loading and unloading. And I just love those moments when we get on board, you sit down, and you look out, and the terminal, the gate next to you, the guy's plowing the lot, right? And you're boarding 45 minutes later and you're still plowing. And then you back off and you're still plowing. That's not how it is in Quebec and Montreal. It goes much, much faster. So if you can clear that lot, get another plane in, get it out, that's what the Metal Pless philosophy is all about.
And
yeah, it is difficult for me to think about a blade that's 44 feet wide.
Yeah.
And it's 24-foot main moldboard with 10-foot wings. And that is extremely efficient at airports. The only place where they're going to run them is at airports. But then the smaller ones on a skid steer working around the passenger gates, again, because it can back drag, move forward, do so much, it increases that efficiency also over a bucket or just a regular pusher.
Oh, for sure,
box.
for sure.
I've seen that at an airport where they're plowing around the gate with a bucket, and I'm going, I could have had this done myself because would have taken me 5 minutes, and they were there for 45 minutes. So, and we understand that how important it is. Time is everything when it comes to snow. The quicker you can take all that snow away, the less chances you have of slowdowns or people getting
Delays.
stuck, delays. So it's really trying to get that equipment in there to clear out as much snow as you can in the quickest amount of time.
And it's not just about the size. Because earlier, Kristen, you mentioned a car. You can have a pickup truck with a box that's 6.5 feet, a pickup truck with a box that's 5 feet. Not because you're 24 feet wide that you're efficient. Let's be clear. It's the way it works, the way it's built, the way it can be used by the operator. So that comes back to not just the size, but also how it was built. And that's what Metal Pless, again, sets itself apart with our trip edge, our different types of live edge systems that we offer, the way the wings are able to maneuver. It's not just a simple design. It's a very complex design that we have. One of the other big components, which is exclusive to Metal Pless, is our mechanical weight transfer system on a blade of that size. Because remember, a 44-foot blade is not 1,000 pounds. A 44-foot blade will be up to 15,000 pounds. That takes a very large vehicle to push such a big piece of equipment, such a big, heavy piece of equipment. So having a mechanical weight transfer system, which I'll get to in a few seconds, allows you to now push more snow. And let me explain why. A blade that weighs 15,000 pounds, I must now push that 15,000 pounds dragging on the ground is a lot of friction, requires a lot of horsepower, a lot of loader just to get it moving. And I didn't push an ounce of snow yet. So the Metal Pless mechanical weight transfer system allows to transfer a portion of the weight from the blade onto the loader, giving you more traction, allowing you to push a wider blade and more snow by removing the weight that's dragging on the ground. And let's not forget, 15,000 pounds on the ground is also hard on the infrastructure. So we've tried to help the industry by removing that weight from the plow, transferring it to the loader. I have more traction, I can push more snow. And also with 44 feet at airports, it's not as if your snow dump is 20 feet away. It's quite a ways. So you need traction. And we've helped that with our different types of technologies.
And a lot of times what we do is when clients call us up and they'll say, okay, what size plow can I use on the machine? The first question will be, how much does your loader weigh, or how much does the machine weigh? Because then we can take that weight and think about what to put on the front. Horsepower is another important thing, but often weight is the number one. And then what happens with that is if we can transfer some of that weight onto the loader, well, now we've just sometimes increase the loader by a size.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I can hear, as you talk, I'm hearing some of the benefits for airports, in there. You talk about weight and speed and efficiency, all those things. I mean, those are things that airports are striving for all the time, right? So are there any other trends that you're seeing in the market that you're following and that you're going to be really playing along with here with your products?
Absolutely. Actually, there's a new technology that we've come out just recently, and again, to the response by listening to people, we're very fortunate to have a very loyal customer base that stays in touch with us. We're able to hear out the issues. We're able to work with them. We're able to make a better product for them. And one of the most common feedbacks we were getting is when you're plowing at airports, it's not like plowing my driveway. There's inset lighting. There's all sorts of stuff going on that we have to be careful of. And with these inset lightings, you can't just drive a steel edge over that. You'll damage it. So what we've come up with just recently is the rubber live edge. So a lot of people understand the live edge. If you don't, I'll just explain quite quickly. It is a mechanical mobile edge that floats 3 inches up and down and side to side, contouring the unevenness of the ground. Even at airports that everything seems straight, believe me, it is not. There's always little variances and leaving some snow behind, which you must come behind with a sweeper to try to get that little ½ inch that never came off. So the live edge really scrapes it clean, but a live edge was initially with a steel edge. when you would run it over the inset lighting, sometimes it would damage the inset lighting. So we've come up with rubber live edge. It's a composite rubber unique to Metal Pless. It's 2 inches thick, an inch and a half thick of composite rubber unique to Metal Pless. And we've given it a live edge. It's got 3 inches of travel. Plus, it's also installed on another live edge apparatus that gives us another 12 inches of float. So when you're at 60 feet wide, of course, you can imagine over 60 feet, there's definitely some variances in the ground, some highs, some lows. Going over some inset lighting, you might actually hit 2 or 3 at that width sometimes, depending where you are. So the rubber live edge allows to travel over the inset lights, no damage is caused, only that 24-inch section will float. So if you hit it over that 24-inch section, that section will float up and over and under. The other sections will stay on the ground, clearing the ground. So there's definitely some really cool things coming around. The rubber live edge is one of the biggest, but we're always working at making our products better.
So the last thing I'd like to ask you about is in the last year, what kind of changes have you seen in your business? Due to the pandemic, the lockdown, the slowdown in traffic, how have you adjusted?
Wow, the last year was quite interesting, wasn't it? COVID made it very interesting for a lot of people out there, right?
Especially airports.
Especially
really
airports.
Affected them.
As airports and in the manufacturing business as ourselves, we rely on trade shows quite a bit to reach out to people. And of course, with the shutdown of everything, it was quite different. So we had to reinvent ourselves at Metal Pless. And one of the things that we did is we actually came out with our own platform, the Metal Pless TV, so metalpless.tv platform, to which we were able to make some really cool videos for education, some cool videos on tech talks. We made our virtual trade shows. We're able to get the information out to the people for them to listen, because a lot of these people, they still have to make decisions. They still have to purchase equipment, but they're not able to go out on the ground and get the information. And we didn't want to make it just any type of platform.
No.
So we had to make it interactive, something fun. And people would write questions we could answer the week after. So definitely we had to reinvent ourselves. Metal Pless TV was great for that. We have some instructional videos in there as well.
Yeah, we do the live shows, and the other thing is we were doing some of the virtual shows. But a virtual show is just kind of like sitting there answering some questions. But with the Metal Pless live TV, now what we were able to do is bring the client into our studio, and our studio was set up kind of like a trade show, and we could go and explain all the aspects of our plows. And that made a huge difference. It kept the interaction going with our clients, and again, being able to listen to some of the questions, and we're constantly, we never stop. Every year I wait and go, okay, Jason, what's new that they're coming out with?
What's better? And we have a whole team always designing new and unbelievable stuff. But it's very interesting.
And it's not always what's better. It's also times what can we do to bring the weight down of this plow, but still keep the structural integrity. So it's often, I think, when somebody says what's better, well, do I have more horsepower? Do I, it's always the big, but it's what can we do to bring the weight down, but still keep the structural integrity of this plow, which then allows us to plow more snow.
Yeah, and how can we redesign it to reduce maintenance? How can we make it last longer? That's the Metal Pless philosophy.
Well, I live all the way down here in Texas, so we don't need snowplows very often. But we really could have used your help back in February.
Well, believe
when we
it.
had that major snowstorm.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, we actually, I think you,
No,
Paul.
it was Bob.
It was Bob.
Bob sold
we
it.
actually have some Metal Pless blades in Texas.
Yeah. Oh, I did. I sold one to a private contractor, but I think Bob sold one to an airport. Yeah.
I think they can see the need for it now.
Yeah.
Well, it's, earlier we mentioned that we sell them all over the world. We also have Heathrow Airport. That's got a whole fleet of them.
Huge fleet, yeah.
And it's not like they're always like in a high snow event area.
No, it's all about when you get snow, it needs to be removed, right? And fast,
Right.
fast, productivity,
Yes.
efficient.
Yeah.
It's the words I keep on repeating all the time, but that's the most important thing. And yeah, we have blades all across the world, from Heathrow to right here in Canada. Pretty much every major international airport in Canada has Metal Pless. all across the U.S., many states.
And I'm not sure if it comes into play as much with airports, but I know with private contractors, it's getting harder and harder to find qualified operators. So again, if you have a plow that's replacing 3 machines and you have a good operator on it, it makes that necessity of trying to find people who know how to operate this equipment a little easier. And not to say we're becoming robotic, we're far away from that, but
it's just getting a better tool.
Yeah.
Right, right. Well, final thoughts. Tell us, why is what you do important to the industry as a whole?
Wow. Well, Jason, I think probably mentioned the word passion 3 or 4 times. I love snow. I come from snow, and I've always loved the challenge. And I think what we can bring to the airports is, again, the challenge of bringing more efficient equipment, allowing them not to have as much downtime, and just being able to stay on top of things. So we have that product that allows them to maybe avoid a shutdown or a delay. It's big, and you mentioned earlier the domino effect. So if we can stop 5 delays or shutdowns in a season because the Metal Pless plows are on doing their job, well, I think that's
And on my end, to be a little egotistical, I guess I could say.
Go for it.
I fly a lot. I travel all across North America a lot. I'm always at airports. And unfortunately, I get a lot of delays due to snow. And often those delays, you're looking outside and it's like, if there was a Metal Pless there, that plane be in. So if we can help the industry to get those gates cleared and get those planes back out flying faster, then my wait is shorter. I'd love it.
And you just got your pilot's license. Yeah. So,
little 172 flying around here.
I need a plow stat.
Yeah, I'll put a little plow in front of my Cessna there.
Gentlemen, that's fascinating. You made snowplows really interesting, and I appreciate the explanations.
Thank you, Kristen, for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us for Show and Tell. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.